Hello, welcome back. Welcome if you're new here. I'm Annie. Get yourself a drink, a nice cup of tea, and we'll sit and have a coffee or tea morning. I've even got the best china out for you. Do you like tea in a teapot? Just the best way to have tea. Do you sometimes feel that you've lost the person you used to be? That person is still inside you, but we lose them and we've got to try and find them again. And as most of you know, I'm on that journey of self discovery, trying to find that happy go lucky person that I used to be, the person that was fearless, that would do anything. And she seems to have gone. That I'm trying to not be younger, but to embrace age. But how do we do that? And this is the reason I've started this channel so that we can all come together, give each other the ideas and things that we've done that have made us feel better. And I love reading your comments. They're really, really lovely. It's a bit like, obviously, on my last video, I went to a wedding and I saw people there that I haven't seen 20, 25 years. And they say, hello, oh, you're looking good. Are they really thinking that? You try and read their face, or are they looking and thinking, my goodness, she's got old. She's aged. She ain't aged well. Is that what they're thinking? But I do think it's embracing old age. But we can make ourselves feel better by making the most of ourselves and making us feel good. Because it's not about making anyone else feel good, it's about us, how we present ourselves, how our minds think. And I've obviously, for those that have been subscribed since the beginning, know my journey of overcoming grief and how that has been that knocked me for six. And I laid down and played dead. Not anymore. I'm fighting back and I am staring age in the face, laughing. And that is the best way. I'm reinventing myself, my clothes, my look, my mind. I've started with my mind. And although I still get really bad days, I can pull myself back out. I've put myself now on a dating site. I'm not too bothered if I find anyone, but it's more different friends because we all have different friends for different reasons. And they all serve some purpose in your life. So I just want different friends. Male company is nice. I get on very well with men as friends, only friends. And also for people that you can say, do you want to go to the theatre? Do you want to go out for a meal? And I have got women friends, but I've never been one that keeps a large circle of friends. But I like to go out and feel good and sprinkle my sparkle. And it's how you make others feel as well, being around you. Because when you're low and you're all woe me, people back away from you. And they can even sense it before you've said anything. So I like to go out and I like to shine. So I like to make people feel good just in the way that they make me feel good, just being around them. Life is for living. As you've seen, I've been doing up my home. I went to the charity shop last week again, and I'll show you what I bought. Right, there was something in there that I saw last week, and I got home and I thought, oh, why didn't I pick it up? I really wanted it. This is it. It was still there when I went back. It's a candle. I've put a candle in it. I suppose you can have a tall one. There is a thing in it that you can put a tall one, but I like the shorter one. It's quite heavy. And when I saw it the first time, it was a fiver. And when I went back, there was no label on it. And I said to the woman, "How much is it?" She said, £4. It'd gone down a quid. So isn't that lovely? All these little things make me feel good. When I get up in the morning and I see all the things that I've got, and it's not about possessions, it's you buy cheap things and it's how you put them together. And I get up in the morning, I just love my home. It makes me feel really good. Then I bought this. I haven't cleaned it up. I've got to get some Brasso on it. How lovely is he? He's quite heavy. He's some metal. I'm going to try and clean him up. And he was £6. And I bought it because I liked it, but I looked it up to see, where he's from. But a lot of places were selling exactly the same. The cheapest I found was £40 on eBay. The dearest I found was 75. So he's lovely. I'm going to clean him up. And he's for this room, same as the candle. But I loved him. He may have only just been put out because I think he would have been snapped up. Then I think on the last video, I said about the shoes that I bought that I couldn't walk in. These are them. They're not very high, and a block hill is easier to walk in. They are comfortable, but I've got to practice. And they're sort of knitted. But I thought they were lovely, and I paid a fiver for them as well. They're not any particular make, but I'm not worried about makes. It doesn't matter because you don't wear the label on the outside. It's how you wear it, not where it's from. So I've got those. Then I got this blouse. Honestly, it's like I feel like a hillbilly in it. A little frill at the bottom. Isn't that lovely? That is so lovely. I've washed these out, and I know they say charity shops clean things, but I bought something in there the other week that had pockets in. I'm going to put my hand in my pocket. There's all tissues, and they haven't been washed. So I don't know if they steam them, but I don't take any chances. Goes straight through the wash. And then I bought this little top. It's a bit screwed up because I haven't ironed it. I've washed it and not ironed it. Isn't that nice? Got little, you put your arms through there. So it's just like off the shoulder, cold shoulder top. And I think those two, there was a rail upstairs with all reduced stuff, obviously stuff they couldn't sell. And I think that was £2 and the other one was £2.50. Can't go wrong with that, can you? But you buy things and at that price, if you wear them once and then put them back in the charity shop or put them on Vinted, you've done well. But sorry about my dog. They're being a bit of a nuisance today. So it is how you put it together, and it's how you look. I saw someone last week, and she was probably about my age, but the way she was dressed, she had a very patterned, flowery top on, and then a flowery skirt in a completely different colour and completely different pattern, and it looked absolutely ridiculous. And I always want to tap on their shoulder and go, "Listen, love, that looks terrible. You don't put things together like that." But you can't, can you? I nearly did, though. So it is how you put things together. And I love clothes, absolutely love clothes, but I keep a capsule wardrobe. So I have a few different tops, mainly jeans in there. I mix and match it. And at the moment, shorts and a couple of special occasion dresses. But even if you buy a black dress, I did buy one. I can't remember where I've put it now, about 5 months ago. And it's just a plain black dress, but it's really lovely. It's fitted. I can wear that to all different occasions. I can change handbags, shoes, so it looks different. I can wear different jewellery with it. So you can make it look different, so it doesn't look like you're wearing the same outfit. But I just love it. I love clothes. And when I was a lot bigger, I was 4 stone heavier. I seemed to wear like tents. I looked like Demis Roussos. Do you remember him? In the big, long, baggy things. Well, that's what I used to look like. Honestly, if the wind had got up, I would have been hovercraft. Yeah, it's I was trying to cover my body. I was trying to cover up. But we've got to be proud, even at that size, we've got to be proud of who we are. And if you're like that and you can't lose weight, then do your makeup nice, do your hair nice. Actually, I haven't done mine nice today because I've got to wash it and I just couldn't be asked. So, but do things that make you feel good. And your clothes, you can get away with. I mean, a lot of people, when I did when I was bigger, was always in black because it made me look smaller, but it actually doesn't. And when you wear things that just hang, they they don't do anything for you. Even if you're bigger and they're more fitted, it makes you look smaller. And shoes. I've got a thing about trainers. Do you any of you wear trainers? I bought myself a pair and they're really lovely trainers, but I don't feel feminine in them. I do wear them when I walk the dogs. If I'm just nipping out somewhere, I've got to be comfy. But I feel like I'm all feet. I'm not used to it, but I suppose I will get used to it. But it's not me trying to dress young. I also want to know if you can leave me a comment. What would you like to see? What would you like me to present to you? I'm open to suggestions within reason. Let me know what you want, and if there's anything you want to ask me, and I'll answer them. I'll probably address them in the next video. But just go ahead because we're all in this together. Our little club, the Bonkers Club. You're all my bonkettes. Is that a bit rude? No, no, we'll leave that. My bonkettes. Yeah, life can be strange. You never feel like you're going to get older. And I feel guilty because I've misjudged people in the past where I've looked at them and started to speak to them like, hello, how are you? And they're probably my age. Little do we know that although they look older, they're not any older inside. And I've noticed people talking to me like that now. And they go, hello, you all right? I go, of course I am. What are you talking like that for? Idiots. Yeah. But it was like my mum, like I said to you in the last video, my mum had no filter. And I can remember once we went on a cruise and we went on quite a few actually. We were making our memories and it was the same price for the cabin, whether one went or two went. So me and mum went together. And I remember we were going down to the next deck because or a few decks down for our dinner, and it was very nice, very posh. And we were all crammed in the lift, and we went down to the next deck. The doors opened, and we were all squashed in there. And as the doors opened, there was a really large man waiting to get in, and everyone went oh like that because there was no room. And he walked forward and he went, "Can I squeeze in?" So we all shuffled back. Well, you know how quiet it is in the lift, and everyone just stands there. The door's shut, and Mum went, "You've eaten too many dinners, you have." Oh no, I didn't know what to say, and no one said anything. The atmosphere was so bad. Couldn't wait to get out of that lift. She had absolutely no filter on her, not at all. I also remember when we all went on holiday when my kids were little, and we hired a cottage, and the owners of the cottage were Mr. and Mrs. Bullock next door. Anyway, we had a massive storm one night, and Mr. Bullock knocked the door. All the lights had gone out, power cut, and he knocked the door with candles. And my dad I don't think he was really hard of hearing, but I don't know what got into him. He said, as he opened the door, he said, "Hello, Mr. Bollock. Come in." I was so pleased it was dark because you couldn't see my red face nor my mum's, but I could hear my mum giggling. Oh, what happens to people when they get older? Am I going to go like it? Am I going to take after them? I hope not. I hope not. I mean, do you get to an age where there's no filter? Is that what happens? Am I going to suddenly next year have no filter? Although saying that, my daughter says now when we go out, she says, "Keep your mouth shut, don't say anything." Why? What have I done? But I'm finding that even when we go to, I have my feet done and my daughter has her nails done, we go once a month. And I'm even finding when we go there, we walk in and they're all pleased to see us. And I think it's because we're fun. You project that. You do project that. And one girl, I hope they're not watching. One girl, I don't particularly like her doing my feet. There's a chap in there and he gives the best foot massage and I always hope for him. But when she's there, she fights for me and she says, "Oh, I'm doing Annie today." And I'm thinking, I want him. I don't want you doing them. She's really lovely and there's nothing, but he gives the best massage. One of my best friends wanted me to talk about eyelashes. And she said, as she's got older, her eyelashes have gone grey and she's got gaps. Yeah, they do. Mine haven't gone grey, but I have got gaps. And I don't know if any of you have found that with eyelashes, but the best thing is to have them tinted. Go and have your eyelashes tinted. There's nothing you can do about the gaps. Apart from I use a heated eyelash curler because that lifts them. You're not going to lose the gaps, but if you have your eyelashes tinted, they look dark. I don't have mine done because mine are naturally quite dark anyway, so I don't bother with that. If you've got any beauty tips or anything that you do, let me know, and we can perhaps address them and have our little chit chat about them. I love our chit chats. Also often look back. I mean, you look back at your life, and I look back at when my kids were little. And I have three. I have two sons and a daughter. One of my sons is he's 38, nearly 39 now. Well, both my sons are. They're roughly the same age. Um, but this one in particular, I fostered him from the age of 12. And I wanted to adopt him. But by the time I realised he was 16, and by the time it went through, he would have been 18. And it was too late, really. But he's mine, and I love him as my own. So I took him on as my own. And for all the years I fostered, it was worth it just because of that one person. The others were lovely. They moved on. I helped them. I moved on. And I hope they look back at me with fondness. But it was worth it. I gained another son. And he's lovely. He really looks after me. He's really lovely. Both my sons do and my daughter. But when I went to the wedding last week, I looked at the bride and my daughter, who was a bridesmaid, and there was a magician there that done a. I don't know if it was a trick. I'd like your opinion on this because I don't know. He stood in the middle of them, got them both to close their eyes. Now, my daughter and the bride have been friends since the bride was 3 years old. My daughter's a year older. And he stood in between them and he got them to shut their eyes and he said to the bride, "Now think of a really happy memory that you spent together. Think of something, just keep thinking about it." Anyway, he went over to her and he touched her on the shoulder. And he warned them, I will be touching you appropriately. And he touched on the shoulder. And then he stood in the middle and he said, "Did either of you feel me touch you?" And they both put their finger up, yes. He hadn't touched my daughter. And he said, where did I touch you? And they both went there. He'd only touched the bride. And then he done it on their arm. They both felt it. He went twice on their arm. And he said, "How many times did I touch you?" They both said 2. He hadn't touched my daughter. Then he'd done the end of their nose. Now, that can't be a trick. I think that they were quite bonded. But I remember on Friday night looking at them both, and I just wanted to cry because I saw these 2 little girls still standing there, and now they're the most beautiful women. And just wanted to cry. It was just so lovely. So, so lovely. But it's nice to look back. It's nice to look back. I had my kids really young, so I'm still young with them. I like to think. My daughter's 41, but she's like my friend, and it's lovely. I'm not going to be doing a food for thought tonight. To be honest, I've not been well all weekend with some bug. I don't know if I picked something up. I've been to the wedding and funeral. Don't know if I picked something up there. But I've enjoyed our chit chat today. And as I say, please like, subscribe. So next time, get the best china out, get yourself some biscuits, and we'll sit and have our coffee morning. I will still end with a funny story. As you all know, I lost my partner last year, and his sister cleared out his house. Well, my partner was a very large man, 6'7", 21 stone, and he had size 14 feet, and he had the most beautiful shoes, loads of pairs of shoes that were absolutely beautiful. Well, who really has a size 14 feet? Anyway, when the vicar came round to see my partner's sister, who was dealing with everything, she asked him what size feet he had, and he said size 14. So she gave him the shoes. She said, "Take your pick." Anyway, at the funeral, he was the vicar at the funeral. He was standing there wearing my partner's shoes. It's weird, isn't it? You don't do that. He must have been really pleased with them. So it did make me laugh. Please keep your comments coming because they mean the world to me. Anyway, until next time, our next coffee morning, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.